Welcome to the First 40 Sports Show with the squad. It's Black Thor, Icewater, and Puma, and we'd like to wish a happy holidays to all of you. It's holiday week or 2 weeks. So let's start off with college football. You have the playoffs underway. Notre Dame, Ohio State, Penn State, and Texas advance. I want to get your thoughts because a lot of people are saying, oh, we should ban SMU from the playoffs, or we should ban these lower seed teams from the playoffs from different conferences. But I'm like, this is what happens in the playoffs. This is what happens. The lower seed meet a higher seed, and this is what happened. I'm going to go to you first, Black. Your eye test, man.
No, I'm right with you, man. It wasn't competitive the first weekend for the most part, but you're right. That's what happens. And to me, when I looked at this when the weekend was over, I was like, all I saw was money, bro. All I saw was money because more games, more money. It's just different from the bowls. But no, as the years go on, it become more competitive because some of these teams are basically be stronger. But it was just the first year, man. Enjoy it. It's extra football, bro. To me, the weekend was full of college football. What do you want better than that? What's better? I mean, realistic, this time of the year, what is better than that?
Yeah, Notre Dame Ice made history, being the first team to win in the playoffs, the new system. I enjoyed the games. I enjoyed the excitement. I'm looking forward to the next games, which are actually bowl games. Your thoughts, man?
Yeah, I mean it was cool. I think the only thing if I did look it over again is look when you see it is look it over is the factor that how you have I don't know. Maybe I'm tripping and then maybe they're trying to get it right, but that the whole 3 and 4 seed right now is looking kind of weird to me, man. It's kind of weird. I know they won and they earned it, but that's that's kind of high when you look at how things played out in the first round. But you come out and the committee jumps out the first time, and they probably will make some changes as they alter and tinker to try to get it right. And maybe it is right, right? Maybe it is right. You won, you deserve to be there, but you sitting there, you know, like, okay, now they got to play Boise, they got to play Boise State or whatever, these certain or whatever, or these teams that you love. Now they got all they got to do is kind of walk through, right? But anyway, but I'll say the games themselves. I mean, no, people are mad and whatever, but Indiana and Notre Dame, and I know Indiana was complaining, but they simply had no defense the whole year. You get up on them, you win. They can't stop anybody. And they showed you how frustrating. You can say it's cold. Nah, bro, they weren't ready. They was not ready. And Ohio State did the same thing to them. And I'm telling you, Freeman probably saw that tape. It was like, yeah, we're doing the same thing. Because we know we get up, they're not coming back. Penn State, the SMU quarterback, my heart broke for him. It's like he didn't know where he was at. He was like an eighth grade quarterback playing in D1 football. And like the first down, like dude he tried to make a spectacular play.
Yeah,
Run the
run the ball, get the
ball,
first down.
bro.
Yeah.
That's seventh grade football. Don't try to be spectacular. Get the first down. That would have changed the whole complexity early on in the game. Texas, Clemson, man, I'm just saying this, man. Get out this real quick. She be my last second shot. But, a lot of people calling for that man's name up in here. All I'm going to say is, try to tell y'all it was a Michigan mentality. Y'all don't want to hear that. Oh, they're going to, no, it's that. And when he plays the way they're supposed to, they can play at anybody. And I think they showed that.
Throwing the ball. Throwing the ball.
Straight up and down.
Yep.
When they came out, he knew what it was. He got to tell that man, well, does he really understand? Yeah, he understands. It's hot up in here. It's hot.
Yeah. So the quarterfinals, you got Arizona State against Texas. You got Oregon against Ohio State Buckeyes. This is part two of this game. I'm looking forward to that game. You got Boise State, playing against Penn State. I think that's going to be a good game. I want to see the running back from Boise State do his thing, or whether or not Penn State can really stop him. And then, of course, the Georgia Bulldogs against Notre Dame. I'd love to see it. You know what, Black? I know you're gonna be shocked to hear this, but I'm really liking that Notre Dame coach, and what you know what? I'm really liking that Notre Dame coach. He's really impressed me. He's really impressed me on how he turned this program around. Because when they started the season out with that loss, I'm like, here we go again with another Notre Dame team. But he really turned it around. He really turned it around. So I tip my hat to him. I tip my hat to him. Go ahead and say what you're going to say.
I'm just going to give you that, bro. That's enough. That's enough.
So, Black Door, you know what's going to happen, right?
Oh, yeah.
He put the slap rock curse on them. They done.
I don't mean
Notre
to do
Dame.
that.
Oh, here it comes.
And
I don't
Notre
mean to do
Dame,
that.
look, Notre Dame, it was nice knowing you. Everybody was in the building. Georgia.
Anyway, moving around. It's going to be really hard to get past that Georgia defense. That defense is vicious. NFL, the playoffs are just around the corner. I'm really liking Ice that they're putting the divisional games at the end of the season because some of these teams aren't going to the playoffs, but they're trying to play spoilers to these other teams that are going to the playoffs. If you look at Washington and Philly, I don't know if Washington is in or not, but me and Pop sitting here looking at it, and I'm like, as soon as Hurt went down, I'm like, they put the dude Pickett for Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm like, oh, they're in trouble. They are in trouble. Your thoughts on Sunday's games, man?
Yeah, a lot of craziness. Everybody trying to make excuses. Well, Philadelphia, if he wouldn't have got Washington, like, man, we trying to win games. We're trying to win games, and I was surprised by that. The fact that Houston is won the division again, despite the situation, that kind of blows me away. The Rams could be a problem at home if they get the home field advantage. Rams could be a problem. What else? Washington Rams. Also, too, the one thing I'm gonna say real quick, get out here, is this. Y'all better be very careful. Something is happening, and most people not even realizing it. So I'm gonna spell it out for you. The Kansas City Chiefs are getting healthier, and that's a problem. Kareem Hunt is there. Now you got Pacheco's coming back. Hollywood Brown just all of a sudden appeared. I was like, I thought he was done for the year. And now you got DeAndre Hopkins and that 1-2 punch and run. And now you're going to give more weapons to the man that's been carrying them with half a receiver the whole year down there. And Kelsey trying to play again. All right, yeah, just watch out. That's all I'm saying.
You mentioned Kelsey. I was reading a report today that there are people saying that Kelsey is washed up. Soon as that Taylor Swift came in the view, I don't know. But anyway, Black, what are your thoughts on that and Sunday?
Man, I got to go to one person in general because he was, feeling good, riding away. Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson, man. I think about that coach that said, crown him. Don't crown him. They've been crowning Russell the past 3-4 weeks. He looks like the old Russ. You look at old Russ, his ass went up in the air and fumbled the ball. He tried to do too much, man, for the Patriots. Yeah. He tried to do too much. He kind of bought the hype. If he'd have toned it down some, I think they could have fared better. I'm not saying they would have won the game. But I'm going to tell you, listen, I said he's right. Kansas City's basically quietly. They only lost one game, but quietly, they kind of stacking themselves up. They're like squirrels at the end of the fall season, stacking themselves up for the playoffs. But I'm going to tell you this, man. If Baltimore plays like they played Saturday night, just run the ball. Don't go in there and try to be pretty. Don't have Lamar try to outduel him. Have number 22, pound. I think they could take Kansas City. I really think they could take Kansas City, but they got to play their game. They can't get cute. They can't try to go in there and try to act like Lamar's better than no. Pound, and then pound some more. They got to have a chance, man. But to me, this time of the season, I'm looking around some teams, man, and I look at San Francisco. Basically, didn't really show up. Their quarterback's fighting for a new contract. Purdy doesn't really look like he deserves that big contract. And then Minnesota, man, quiet as kept. No one wants to put any faith in. No one to believe, but that's a damn good football team, man. That's a damn good football team. Nobody wants to honor them. But I don't know, between Green Bay and Minnesota, I would not be surprised if Philly or Detroit goes down the playoff to one of those two teams.
Yeah, and I was saying last week about the Buffalo Bills, and I didn't know Josh was his left hand was been broke most of the season, but they deserved to lose that game yesterday against the New England Patriots, and they just got by, and they took them light. So I'm kind of like this on the Buffalo Bills. I don't know.
I'm going to say something real quick. I watched a few commentators today. They're trying to really give Josh the MVP this year.
Yeah.
They really want to give it to him. But if you look at Lamar Jackson numbers, It's not even a race. It's not a race. If you just look at his percentages numbers, but they want to give it to Josh because he never won one. And they don't want to give it to, of course, Lamar back-to-back. But honestly speaking, it's up to Lamar. It's all Lamar's trophy.
All right. We'll talk about college basketball some other time. But I want to talk about the NBA, and they're coming up with the Christmas games coming up. I want to find out from you guys which games are you going to kind of tune into. But Charles Barkley, and I never really agree with Charles Barkley, but I agree with him on this point. I wanted to hear from you two. I'm going to go with Black first. He says the NBA season should start on Christmas Day. And I'm like, you know what? That might not be a bad idea because right now, I'm not watching the NBA. I mean, it's not appealing to me. But when he said that, I'm like, you know what? I think that's a good idea. Your thoughts, Black?
It's not a bad idea where you get a chance to play longer in a sense beyond June. I like that, but that's not going to fix the NBA. Let's be honest, man. You, I, other people, millions are not watching it because the game is not exciting to watch anymore. The fundamentals have basically caught up with the NBA, and people don't want to tune in and watch. What has happened is they have promoted LeBron James so much for years. The younger generations were watching. Now they have tuned out. They're tired of LeBron. They tuned out. We tuned out years ago, but they didn't pay us no attention. We kept saying, make the game more fundamental, bring back this and that. No, you got LeBron doing and this Euro stuff, all this other stuff you brought to the league. We're tired of watching. Forget the jacking up the threes. Forget all that. They don't play defense. They don't rebound. The basic fundamental of NBA game is in trouble. It's been in trouble for years, but it's finally caught up with them. It's not about, starting in Christmas. You need to improve the play of the game. That's what you need to improve the play of, basically. You improve that, people will come back and watch. But the ticket prices have went up. For the most part, I was watching the game the other day. I turned on, start watching the movie, bro. So you talk about I'm being honest with you. I'm not watching none of those Christmas games. None of them are lightning. I look at them. What did they like me realistically? Which one? I mean, you watch it. It's like it's poor play. I was watching. I'll say this real quick. I like Cleveland this year. I was watching Cleveland in Milwaukee the other night. Milwaukee up and down, bang, 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 just taking bad shots. What's the name coming and falling to the ground? Greek freak. They don't even run plays. Give one person the ball, get out of the way. That's what's killed the NBA, bro. You can talk about 3-point shots if the cows come home. It's not good, solid, fundamental basketball. And that's what's killing it. It has killed it, I should say.
As David Chappelle said when he was playing the character of Rick James, the milk has gone bad. Which games are you going to watch? Because I may tune in and watch the Knicks, but I know Pop is not an NBA guy, so I'll probably have to sneak and watch it on another TV. But what do you think it's a good idea to start the season on Christmas Day to kind of get people who are at home to build up the ratings? And I agree with everything that Black just said about why people aren't watching. I haven't been watching for years just because of what he said. Your thoughts, man?
No, I mean, I can see why you had that perspective about people are not watching and the reason why, but I think it's even deeper than that. I think one, the season's too damn long, particularly because of the factor that they're not playing hard. The time that they had that little shortened season in the bubble, whatever the hell it was exciting because there were a lot of games and guys came in, they was fresh and they had to play. But it's just like you said, they're not playing. They're playing a certain kind of game. It's not physical. You can't bang nobody. It's like watching football and the defensive back can't hit nobody. Or the linebacker can't touch anybody. Yeah. It's got soft. So, everybody want to talk about how pretty they are, how cute they are. It's hard to watch. The only time I really want to watch it is during the playoffs. So, I mean, I can take this time off and do something else because I know how it is. They're going to either give half-ass effort, most people, or they're not going to take it seriously. You got to make it that way. And if I was the commissioner, I know it's a crazy thought, but I'm like, look, until y'all get this right, there's a limited, and they're gonna say, oh, you can't do that. It's not the way the game is supposed to play. There's a limited number of damn 3-pointers you can take. Your quota is, I'm serious. Your quota is this. You can't, if it's a team, we're gonna find you money until y'all realize how to play real basketball again. It is just really so sad. But in regards to the games, I looked at the list before we came on, and the only game I really would want to see on Christmas Day is Denver versus Phoenix. And the only reason why is because both of them are struggling. Denver's 5th right now, but they're not really playing the way they want to because, the Joker's still pissed off, and Phoenix is the 11th seed right now. So they're playing with desperation. Those teams, I want to see that. The rest of it, everybody, Cavalier, we're going to do this and that. And, I mean, what are we going to say? The Knicks are the Sixers are in 12th. 12th place. 12th place. How's that working out for you? 12th place. And now you look at the Magic, who's in 4th. They lost Wagner, right? They lost Wagner. And so what's going to happen there? But overall, I don't know, man. It's hard. The one thing, my team that I love and I like because they're young and they play, and I learn a lot about them and their team. And my guys coming back, I love OKC. And I think once Chet Holmgren comes back, they're gonna make some noise. That's my squad. I like them. They play hard. Everybody's really trying to do some things, and we found out some things about they center from New York. Didn't know that about that run like that. So I'm more excited about him having a little something extra going on. So I like OKC even more.
A Black Cat is averaging like 25-10. At 25-10, he's doing his thing in New York. He's doing his
All
thing.
right, we see how long it lasts, baby.
All right. One of my favorite, not only baseball players, but characters in baseball, Rickey Henderson, has become an ancestor, Hall of Famer in 2009. Just a character. And before I go to the ice on this, and I'll give you some more of his stats, is the stories that people tell about Rickey Henderson and how he talks in third person are some of the most hilarious stories. And one of my favorite stories is that somebody kept talking about 316, John 316, and Rickey said, "I'm tired of hearing about John 316. Rickey is got a 350 batting average." So and there are many, many stories about Rickey Henderson, and I just want you to talk about him, Ice, because he's from Chicago. He was born in Chicago, and he lived in San Francisco. The last time I saw him, his daughter was throwing out the first pitch at an Oakland A's game, and it was good to see him. But your thoughts about the ancestor right now, Rickey Henderson?
Man, what's really weird is, I buy a T-shirt just to have them for the summer, and I was just about to buy a Rickey Henderson T-shirt. Literally, and I'm buying it now because I love that dude. He's had so much flair, right? You play baseball a certain way, but when you flip the bat and you do all these little motions, and the dude was full of flair. It wasn't like did he have an ego? Hell to the yeah.
Yeah.
But he wasn't mean to nobody. He was just like, I'm that damn good. And he was a prolific base stealer, right? Prolific. He could hit the ball. He was athletic. He could run. He could do a lot of different things, man. They called him the man of steel, STAL. 25 seasons, bro.
Yeah.
25 seasons. And they said, you know how he ended his career playing baseball? He went down to an independent league, man, and played and was helping guys down there. He loved baseball that much. And he was so charismatic. I got a chance to meet him a few years ago during one of those fantasy baseball things and talk to him. And he was just like you thought he would be. He was like your great uncle that was one of the coldest MFs to ever play the game and just as nice as hell. He like, well, you know how we do, baby. And it's just, he was so lively. I was like, man, I love this dude because he just didn't care. You think about it, athlete, hitter, fielder, Hall of Famer. And the one thing was about him, when he played, and one of the greatest base stealers outside of Lou Brock. Lou Brock was amazing.
Yep.
And just being around him was so cool. And the one thing he said about it, like, well, Rickey Henderson asking different things. What about this and what about that? You're a Hall of Famer, and do you really ever surprise yourself and this, that, and that? And like you said, you're always talking like that third person. The man said, you know what, baby? Ain't nothing but Rickey just being Rickey.
Black, one of my favorite stories about Rickey is there was another guy who won the base stealing record with 60 stolen bases. And I think Rickey was like averaging over 100, 120. So when the guy broke the record, Rickey called him the following Monday, and said, "Henderson here." He said, "You ought to be ashamed of yourself." He was like, "Why?" He's like, "Rickey would have had 60 stolen bases at the break." Click, and they hung up the phone. So he's one of my favorite characters, favorite baseball players, one of the best leadoff hitters in baseball history. Your thoughts on Rickey Henderson, man?
Yeah, he was a cat that I paid attention to during baseball, follow baseball for, man. Like I said, that uncle, he had that uncle mentality, that charisma, that basically you don't know what you're going to catch. You know what you're going to see, but at some point, you're going to see something spur of the moment and it's going to kind of basically make you crack up and love him even more. I didn't pay much attention to him after he left baseball, but to me, man, a character within himself. But beyond the character, a hell of a baseball player, man. And it's ironic because a lot of times when I hear people talk about baseball and different names, his name very seldom comes up for different reasons, but they don't mention him what they should, because the guy, we put a bat in his hand, you put him out there in the field, There weren't many better. There were not many better.
Yeah, 10-time All-Star, 2-time world champion, AL MVP, Golden Glove in 1981, 3-time Silver Slugger Award. He stole 1,406 career stolen bases. He stole 130 in one season. That's unheard of. Rest in peace. Rest in peace. Quick hitters. Ice?
Yeah, quick hit. I know this is gonna be a little bit crazy, and people gonna probably say, "Don't turn off your set yet." But I'm amazed by what's going on. The Texas Attorney General sues the NCAA to block transgender athlete participation. I know people are on both sides of that right there too, but I don't know, man. All I'm just say is you do what you do, but why should other people have to suffer because you want to change who you are, what you want to do, especially when it comes to like boxing and stuff. That's just me. I'm just saying. To me, real quick, and I said this before, I think they should have a separate group or whatever they want to do and do that. But why should a girl that it is what it is, playing her heart out, got to come up with somebody that used to be a dude? Maybe it's that ain't that damn simple. Maybe it's more to it, but that's how I see it, bro.
Black?
Hey, man, I'm going to say this, man. I wasn't a big fan of this cat when he was an NFL head coach. He left, went back to college. I'm more of a fan of his now when he's on television. Nick Saban. That cat give it the way it is. When you heard he talk about the Ohio State, he said, why are you paying attention to a fat guy in his underwear? Basically in his mama's basement, talking about what's going on, what you should do. You can't say it any better than that, man. You can't say it. So, Nick, you have won me over. Don't ever think about coaching again. Stay right there. I like the hat. Keep bringing it, man, because we need voices like that on television, bro. Most other people wimp out, don't say stuff like that. I love that you're not afraid to give it like it is.
I was just talking to my cousin about it. He's become more human to us now because we thought he was like this guy that's untouchable and, always thoughtful. He's become more human. Last second shot, Black.
Ooh, my last second shot goes right here, man. And I know it's not going to really matter to some folks. It's kind of almost kind of leaning to what Ice was just saying a little while ago. When I seen a young cat, I'm not even going to say his name. When I saw a young cat, basically a basketball player, wearing a sports bra, what the fuck are we doing? Realistically, man. What are we realistically doing? At some point, we got to realize we were born to be certain genders. You can try to blend it all you want or be what you want. But what you came out your mama's womb being, that's who you really are at the end of the day. You could disagree with me all you want. I'm not born. I wasn't born to wear women's clothing. I just wasn't. So I could try to put it on, make it look cute, but it's not cute at all. And black men, wake up because you're being used.
Ice?
Yeah, I'm going to women's basketball, NCAA basketball. It's been some amazing games. Why been able to catch a little bit of that USC victory over UConn. UCLA is really good. They're very big. Don Staley and the crew are doing what they do. LSU is undefeated. Maryland's undefeated. Notre Dame has some amazing people and a beautiful coach as well. So they are playing their butts off. But I'm telling you, the one thing I think that college basketball is doing right now, particularly women's basketball, and I know it's the Caitlin, Clark craze, but they're following up with another season that make you want to. It's going to pull us in. So it's not just going to be one. It's going to be that intensity of other good players too, and other good teams that make you want to watch. And I think that is such a great thing for women's basketball. Now we don't know about WNBA, but it's damn sure a good thing for women's college basketball.
Yeah, mine is real quick. I want to say congratulations to the Penn State volleyball team for winning the national championship. There were some good games. They need to advertise that more because there were some good volleyball teams. And one of my coworkers, put my, eyes on that about following he and his mom followed the Nebraska team. But congratulations, ladies. You played hard. And their coach was diagnosed with breast cancer. And they were playing hard for him. They were almost out. And they came back and swept, I think, Nebraska to get into the finals, to win the finals. So congratulations to that team and to her, and best of health to the coach. We'll see you next time. Take care.